everyone, I'm Ari here with Rachel and we're your hosts for the Merry Writer podcast. This week we're on episode 325 asking what's the best money you've spent on your writing? Before we start, don't forget to visit and follow our coffee page where you can access lots of goodies for free. Everything that gets earned on coffee goes back into keeping the show going and we really do appreciate the support. So we're talking about spending money because as much as we'd love it all to be free, it's not. If you want to be a writer and you want to do it as a business, or even if you want to do a really good hobby job, you're going to have to put your hand in your pocket and spend some money in some way. So this time we're talking about what have you spent money on regarding your writing that worked the best for you? They're thinking, yes, 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 yes. I'll start and I will say my editor. Best money, the most money. Let's be honest. If you're paying for an editor, it's almost always going to be the most expensive, the biggest single expense that you have to pay for as a self-published author. But it is totally worth it as long as you kind of do research and you get a good one. Because, there are some people out there who have either no qualifications or very little qualifications to be an editor. And I've said this before, no, being good at grammar or having an English degree is not the same. Okay? We did cover, I think we had 2 episodes, didn't we, about editors. So I'm not going to go and rehash all that, but I will say a good editor will be an asset. They should be supportive and very clear with their advice. If possible, depending on the book size and how much detail you need, I do recommend getting a developmental editor and a line and copy editor. It can be the same person or different people. There's a lot of back and forward about that. Some people say you should have a different editor for each one. Others say you can buy the package and have one editor do all three. Obviously, it comes down to what you want and how much you're willing to spend. Because obviously, if you buy a package deal, it gets a bit cheaper. If you pay for 3 separate editors or 2 separate editors, it's going to be a bit more money. You have to just decide what you want to do. And one thing that surprised me when I booked my editor was how she discussed style guides, because I did not know this, but there are different types of style guides. And she's from America and I'm from the UK. So there are little different things. And it's something that I hadn't even been aware of until I booked her. And it really made it feel like, oh wow, there's like it felt very professional. She is very professional. But yeah, she really made a good difference on my manuscript. Like seriously. Very expensive because it is an expensive thing. You are paying for their experience, their time, and the fact she did not use AI at all. It was all her doing it, which I freaking love. But it is worth it. It's like there's a reason they charge as much as they do, and it's always by word, right? Word count, which is it should help you keep your word count low. It did not for me. I was well over 130,000 words when she got it. So, ouch, worth it. Still worth it. So, yes, an editor, if you want to publish and you want it to be good, don't scrimp. Don't mess about, especially if it's a big book. Get it edited. Best money I've ever spent.
I do agree with Ari that, yeah, hiring an editor is some of the best money that you will ever spend. And I know that it is a huge, huge cost, but this is why we've talked about in the past that you need to save up. I mean, most of us are indie authors here. We all know that self-publishing a book is not cheap in the slightest. And yeah, you shouldn't be skimping on a professional editor. If you're gonna skimp anywhere, do not do it for the editor. And I'll say also that I got a proofreader for my books and she actually charged hourly. So it actually ended up being a little bit cheaper for me, which was kind of nice, especially since they're short story collections and they're not full-length novels. But yeah, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. And I also like that when Ari said that a good editor will be an asset. That is 100% true. You're not just hiring someone to help you out with your book, like you're hiring support. You're hiring a team member essentially. So, because it takes a village to raise a baby and it takes a whole lot of creative people to create a book baby. That was a really weird analogy. I apologize. I'm going to continue and say that the best money that I ever spent was Scrivener. And Scrivener, I believe I should have looked it up before we started recording, but I believe it's like $20. It's really not expensive at all, and it's not subscription based, which is wonderful because we all hate subscription-based things. And once you buy Scrivener, you have it on your computer and I mean, you have the license to it. It's a one and done thing. You have the license. So even if you get a new computer down the road, just save that license number and you can just put it on your new computer. It's wonderful. And I used to use Microsoft Word to write all of my novels, and I would have a ton of Word documents of various drafts and my notes and my research. And I would also have notebooks and all this and that and so many different things. And Scrivener just allows me to have all of that in one place. You can create templates for, depending on whatever you're writing, whether it's short stories or novels, and they also have genre templates. You can create your own templates. And you can have various folders for different drafts of your manuscript, also for research and notes, character lists. They have character profiles on there. There's so much you can do with Scrivener, and again, it's all in one place. And I believe there's also a mobile app for it too. So if you tend to write on like your tablet or something, you can do so on there. I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure there is an app. I don't use it because, like I said, I might be making it up. So obviously I don't use it. But I just love Scrivener and I can't recommend it enough. And it's not all that expensive. And again, it's not subscription based. And you could just have all of your notes in one spot and it's glorious.
Yeah, I also agree with that because I have Scrivener. I remember getting it and I tried it and it was like, oh, this is hard. And I just left it. And then I saw somebody, I don't know who it was, they were doing talk about it on YouTube and they weren't even doing a tutorial. They were just talking about it. And then they mentioned a few things and then they showed how they did something. And I was like, that sounds really cool. So I gave it another try, tried a tutorial and I love it. I love it because I write in scenes, not chapters, so I can make a million little scenes. I can make a folder for each chapter and I can shove my scenes into the subfolders as I do it. I like that you can pick between short stories and novels with parts. One thing I really hope, I really hope is that they eventually make it available. I mean, it might be available for a Linux computer because we've all seen the crap that Apple are doing, Mac are doing, and Windows are doing, and the crap that they're forcing on us, and the dodginess. So I would like to start moving back towards a Linux, but I can't if Scrivener won't go on it because I really need that. So yes, I'm hoping that they will eventually bring out a Linux-based version. And I think you're right. I think the price is quite cheap. And also it's been that way forever. Like I remember I bought it years ago and it was cheap. And I think something happened and I lost the license key. So I rebought it and you could buy it with a disc. So you had the disc to re-add it if you wanted to, if the download was having an issue, which I love. And again, I think I checked that not that long ago and it was still the same price. So they do not change their prices. And honestly, if anyone who creates something, if they change their prices, I would still be like, yeah, you know what? They're worth it. They are worth it. And they've been so good at not like hiking their prices all the time. And yeah, so with how dodgy things are with Microsoft, if you want to get away from Word, Scrivener is a great one, and it can take a little bit of getting used to. I do recommend using tutorials to get your head around it. I still am not great with the corkboard. I don't know why. It just doesn't work for me. But yeah, the style of it and all the little flags I used to color code everything, brilliant.
I did the same thing as you when I first got Scrivener. I like didn't know how to use it and I got completely overwhelmed. It's not even that bad of a program like in terms of learning curve, but I just looked at it and I was like, "Nah, I don't have time for this." And then I didn't use it for quite a while. But I want to make a note real quick that I just looked it up, and yes, it is available for Mac, Windows, and iOS. So there is an app. Unfortunately, no, it does not have Linux, at least not that I see. But I also want to note that it is more expensive than I thought. I think I said it was like $20, but it's actually $59.99 at the time that this episode releases. And that's the Windows price. I don't know if it's different for everything else, but I think the reason I got it for $20 was because I got a code because I participated and met my goal in a NaNoWriMo session years and years ago. So I think that's why I got it cheaper. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I said it was $20 and it's apparently 60, which still isn't bad considering it's a one-time payment.
No, and also there's if you already have Scrivener, you can upgrade to the newer version because it's now Scrivener 3 for Windows and things like that. And there's an update. You can just go in and put your license in and you'll get an update. So, and honestly, that is still a really, compared to the prices you get on some softwares, like you say, where it's a subscription, this isn't that. And you know what? They've made a brilliant product. They deserve the money. And that is still an acceptable amount in my eyes.
I concur.
Okay, the next one I'm going to say is courses. Now, obviously, this is a bit nebulous. I get that. I have taken a number of courses in my time. I've had some free ones and I've had some paid ones, and some were awesome and some were definitely a waste of my time. And it's not even like all the free ones were a waste of my time and the paid ones were great. Honestly, I've had some free ones that were phenomenal and some paid ones that were like, what a waste of money. The ones I find personally really good, if you feel comfortable enough with your writing skill, and there is a lot of free resources online for writing. I'm not saying there isn't for other things, but there is quite a lot of free resources online for writing. And if you think your writing skill is pretty decent, I recommend marketing courses. Because that, if you're not writing and if you've got writing, then you've got editing, and obviously, yeah, you'll edit yourself, but you'll hopefully be paying for that editor, the professional. The one thing that almost every writer seems to struggle with is marketing. And yeah, I see people like, oh, I'm taking this writing course, which is great. Do it if that's what you need. But if you've got the ability to, take a marketing course or a two or whatever. I remember the best ones they are if they can do like a free course first. It used to be a thing. I don't know if it's still there anymore, but like I would find courses and they'd do like a free hour. And then at the end of the hour, they'd be like, if you like this and you wanted more, and they give you like a discount code for the price of whatever the thing. And they'd tell you like all the other stuff you get if you pay. Now, that's I've had a few like that. The free course is really good because it kind of gives you a feel of what you're getting and whether the person who's teaching you knows what they're talking about. Also, they're quite good because there's two types of courses in my eyes. There's the one where the free course is brilliant and has stuff that you can take away and use on your story, use for your book. Then there's the one where it's like one giant ad for the paying course. So you don't really get anything. They'll say things like, oh, you should use Amazon ads. We'll talk about that in the paid course. And it's like, oh, well, I know that there's such a thing as Amazon ads. I don't need you to tell me and then try and steer me into the paid course. If you can't give me something for the Amazon ads, some method that will help, why should I pay for the next set? And I have one that was brilliant. It was an hour course. He gave a lot of information. And then at the end, it was like, right, the next set is paid if you want it. It's on discount for like 2 days. And it was something like 40 hours of video courses. They got updated regularly and it was lifetime access. So every time they updated, because obviously marketing is often talking about platforms and products, but things change, Amazon isn't as the same as it was years ago. Instagram isn't the same as it was years ago. So having something where they update the information, but you're not paying any more is brilliant. I appreciate there's not a lot like that because people want money. But if you can find something where you get a lifetime access to them, where you have really helpful information, maybe like access to a group, like a Facebook group or something, where you get that as part of the package, things like that. So you have to make sure it's worth the money. You have to make sure the person knows what they're talking about, or at least sounds like they know what they're talking about. I always go and look at whoever the lecturer is who's teaching you. I go and find out what they do because there's so many people who are like teaching you about writing and publishing a book, and they don't have any books out, or they have books out and all their books are non-fiction books about how to sell books, and it feels a bit dodgy. If you're talking to someone on a course and they're teaching you and they haven't published a book that's not about publishing a book, that's not about marketing a book, that's actually a book to pub that they've had to market themselves. Ew. I don't know why. It just feels weird. So no. But yeah, you want to make sure you get your money's worth. You want to know how long you have access to that information. Is it still in date? Can it be updated? What else do you get depending on the money? Be careful of the FOMO, where they do the, oh my God, this price is only available for 2 days. Don't get sucked into parting with money unless you think you're ready and you have that money. The FOMO is strong. They're really good at doing that. The ticking clock, they're making you feel like, look how much stuff you get if you sign up now. Don't do it unless you know you can afford it and you think it's worth it. I have seen some courses where they sounded really good and they had really good websites, they had a really nice look. And it's all about like how to make this many sales and how to really kick ass. And then you look at their numbers and they're not great. Or it's like how to do social media marketing. And then you go and look at their social media and they've got like zero engagement. It's like when people go to influencers and they're like, oh my God, they've got like 1 million followers. It's like, yeah, but every post has 3 likes and zero comments. They're not that influential. It's things like that. So I really do think courses, especially on things like marketing, can be really helpful. But you do need to be aware of things. You do need to look into it. You do want to look at for testimonials, but do not just trust their website because anyone could write a testimonial and claim it's somebody else. And if you're not sure, do use things like, is it authors beware or writers beware? Because there are plenty of sharks who make up courses and take people's money and give them nothing. So be aware. But if you can find a good course, oh my gosh, that can be such a game changer and can really help take away some of the stress, especially for things like marketing. I feel like I've been talking forever, so.
No, I agree with that. I think courses are definitely useful, but I agree with Ari that you do have to do your research on it and you need to make sure that you have a good understanding of who is running the course and what their credentials are, because there are a lot of pyramid schemes out there and it's you just don't want to get sucked into that at all. I mean, I just took a free course literally just like last week, and I was so happy that it was free because it was such a waste of 20 minutes for me. And I mean, there were 4 lessons, and the longest lesson was 7 minutes and 21 seconds. And the course was email lists for authors, like setting up an email list for authors. And there's not a whole lot of resources out there specifically for authors. So I was like, yeah, why not? And I was watching the videos, and it was essentially like, here's what an email list is if you've never heard of email before in your life. It had nothing to do with authors. It was just like basic, like here's what subscribers mean. This is the definition of subscribers. And it was a waste of time. But if you can find some good ones, they are hugely helpful. And I'm going to bounce off of that for a second and say that you don't have to just buy courses. You can also buy books. A couple of months ago, Ari and I did a podcast episode about writing craft books that can help improve your writing. And there are plenty of other nonfiction books out there that pertain to marketing or digital marketing, social media, all of that fun stuff. And again, similar to courses, there are some out there that just really aren't that great, but there are a few hidden gems. So, look into that. Now, speaking of books, I'm going to say my last fun little money sucker were my book covers. I had never worked with a cover artist before when I created Apparitions Anonymous, or when I published Apparitions Anonymous and Happily Ever Afterlife. So I didn't really know how to go about the process. So I ended up going through 99 Designs and I ran a contest for Apparitions Anonymous. And I got so many wonderful ideas and concept designs. And it was a really fun process. And it was a little more expensive than what you would pay for like just if you hired somebody straight off of 99 Designs, but it was worth it. It was fun to see all the different ideas that people came up with. And when I did find my cover designer, which ironically, she was the very first one to submit a design, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's it, that's the one. And I was able to hire her again individually for Happily Ever Afterlife. But watching somebody just bring bits and pieces of your book to life, especially me who doesn't picture anything in my head. I didn't really know how to convey a, what's the word I'm looking for? I didn't know how to convey a brief to this artist because I really had zero ideas of what the cover art should look like. So that was one of the reasons why I ran the contest because I just genuinely had no idea. And the fact that I gave them absolutely nothing and they still created something out of it was amazing to me. And it's kind of also like receiving fan art, but also the book cover is going to be one of the first things that readers see and that readers notice when finding your book either on a bookshelf or when they're scrolling through Amazon or wherever they're buying it from. And you want it to be eye-catching. So if you're not a professional graphic designer, you're not a professional artist, it's worth it to hire somebody who knows what they're doing and can create that eye-catching cover for you.
Yes, I agree. And also there's a little bit more because like they're aware of things like trends and styles. They'll be there saying that's not the right font. This is the font if you want to connect to the genre that you're aiming for or things. So like I have booked my cover artist, but I have not worked with her yet. But I am already very happy with like everything that says on her website, the how she's been with back and forward with all the questions, and she's been like, I mean, I asked so many questions because again, I have never dealt with an artist, a cover artist before, and she was like, yeah, no problem, and I asked so many, like I was waiting for her to like block me. And she was so patient and friendly and answered everything. And when she wasn't sure, we just chit chatted about it. And it's like if I'm struggling with an idea or anything, I know that she will just be like, here's some thoughts and that. And it just, as Rachel said, other than like an editor, a cover artist is your next, probably the next biggest payment you put out. And it is so important because all that bollocks about don't judge your book by its cover. Yeah, but everybody does. It's the first thing you see. Yes, you might see someone's blurb, but no one's really noticing that the cover stands out. And there's things like how big it is as a thumbnail. Is it readable? Is it viewable? Does it make it obvious what themes and genres are portrayed in the book by the cover? And it's things like that that they have to think about. So yes, definitely pay for a cover designer, a proper cover designer. Don't just use Canva. Unless you are a designer and you know how to use it the best. But no, I'm 100% right. I'm 100% right. I'm 100% in agreement with Rachel. After the editor, your cover artist is the next thing that's like, don't scrimp. But do your research. Again, make sure you're happy with what they do with the covers, and you can easily find out who does covers. So go and find books that you like with the covers in your genre, and usually in the copyright page, that's where people put who the cover artist is. So go and check that and see what they do, and get in early because goodness, they do fill up quick. I mean, I booked mine. I don't know when it was. It was about a month or so ago, 2 months ago. Actually, no, wait. When are we recording this? We're recording this in May. So, and I booked her earlier in the year, and I'm not working with her till November. And I think I got the last slot because after I booked her, she put a notice up saying, I'm not taking any more for the year. So like I whipped in there at the last minute. So yeah, if you want a good book cover, get a good book cover artist, but book early because goodness, they do get taken up. Their slots get filled really fast. That was messy. That was a very messy blah blah blah. But yes.
Please don't cut that out when you said that I am 100% right. Like, please just leave that in there. Ari is 100% right. I concur. I got nothing else to
I'm not
say.
often right, so it's like, yay, a win. But yeah, I think those are, obviously there's lots of other things we could say, but those are our top four things that we both agree are really useful. If you're going to pay for something, those sorts of things are what you should pay for. Obviously, your book covers, your editors, and then courses and a program like Scrivener. I mean, seriously, we love Scrivener. You should try it. If you haven't tried it, try Scrivener. It's great. Great. It's great. But yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait, real quick.
Waiting, waiting,
Just
waiting.
going back to the courses real quick. If you want good courses, look into Inkers Con. It's an annual online conference. I think they do stuff in person, but you can get like an online ticket. And it's a little bit pricey, but you have access to literally everything. They have like a bunch of courses ranging from writing craft to marketing to publishing, whatever. And you have 6 years of access to it. So you don't have to watch the videos live when they happen, but you will have like, it's not lifetime access, but you have 6 years. And I think the reason they do 6 years is because things change and the like. I've only done it 2 years, not 2 years in a row, because again, it's a little pricey, but it is worth looking into. So it's InkersCon, INKERSCON. I don't know if it's inkerscon.com, but it'll pop up if you Google it, or maybe Ari will leave a link in the description. But I meant to say that before and then I forgot. So there we go. I'll shut up.
No, that's great. I've never heard of that. I'm just on it now. And again, like they've got a marketing toolkit course about branding yourself, many lives of a book, success with standalone, social media for marketers, for authors. And yeah, it looks really good. It's got a lot of different things. And just that marketing course is $79 or two payments of $45. So obviously if you pay the single, get it cheaper. But yeah, that looks quite interesting. I've never heard of that at all. So look at me learning something while on the podcast. Nice. Okay, we're done, Rach. We'll jump in with anything else.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so you've heard us. We now want to know, what are your thoughts? What spending costs were worth it for you for your book? Or what would you be willing to spend money on for your book if you haven't yet published it? Let's chat in the comments. You know the drill. Drop it down. We will eventually get to it. Yeah, sorry about that. It's taken a while again. Remember, we do release new episodes every Wednesday. Next week, we're discussing getting back into writing after a hiatus. That does not sound right. To ensure you don't miss it, hit the subscribe button on your way out. If you'd like to learn more about us, check out our website at themayorywriterpodcast.podbean.com and our coffee page for more content. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. This podcast is brought to you by Buying More Books. We can never have enough. The music title Inspired is by Kevin MacLeod. That's a creative